You can save your marriage starting today, even if you are the only one interested. Imagine looking forward to coming home or looking forward to your spouse coming home with no knot in the pit of your stomach, no concerns about another argument. Imagine an evening spent with your spouse that is warm and cozy, full of connection, not spent in icy silence or heated rage. Imagine knowing that you are with your soulmate and knowing you two were in it for the long haul, ready to weather any storm in life and in love. If you aren't there, you can be. Don't believe me? Keep watching. If you really want to save your marriage, please watch this short presentation to learn how you can save your marriage. My name is Lee Balcom. I am one of the top experts in how to save your marriage, and my success rate is extremely high. I tell you that because I can help you do the same. You can save your marriage, and you can do it even if your spouse has given up, left, is angry, had an affair, or claims there is no hope. You can still take action and turn it around. I know because I have seen it time and time again. But if your spouse has threatened to leave, and even if they have already left, you need to act. If you find yourself constantly fighting, or perhaps there is no fighting and no communication, you need to act. If there is no intimacy, no connection, no sex, you need to act. If you value your marriage, you need to act. A marriage crisis doesn't simply go away, and if you don't have the proper information, you can even make it worse. Do you find yourself begging and pleading, arguing and cajoling? Are you reacting with anger and tears, or find yourself sending texts and emails trying to get your spouse to change his or her mind? You may be driving them further away, getting just the opposite of what you want. You need the right information, not outdated ideas or baseless opinions. You need what works, and you need it quick. And by the way, marriage counseling is not the answer. I should know. I am, or was, a marriage counselor. Oh, I still help couples and save countless marriages, but now I know what marriage counseling does not work, and I know why. But most importantly, I know what does work, and I can teach it to you. You see, when I started out, I was trained just like every other counselor. Well, actually, I was better trained than many. There are many, quote, marriage counselors that have never been trained to do marriage counseling. They were trained as individual therapists and just started seeing couples in their practice. Kind of like going to an allergist for a heart condition. Not the best idea. But even with my training in marriage counseling, I noticed that way too many couples were not getting better. At first, I thought it was me. I thought I must be just a bad therapist. But then I noticed my colleagues were doing no better. In fact, I found research that told me the truth. 50% of couples who go to marriage counseling get divorced, and only 10 to 15% say it even helped at all. Think of it this way. You go to your doctor and he tells you that you need to have a procedure done. He tells you that you have to have it, but there's a 50-50 chance of even surviving, and only a 15% chance that the procedure will even help. Would you sign up? I wouldn't, but many couples do that every year. So there I was, realizing that my profession was doing as much harm as good. I made a decision. I would help couples, but I would learn what they really need. I knew what they didn't need. For example, most marriage counseling focuses on communication. Theory is a couple needs to improve their communication. If they do that, then their marriage will improve. Wrong. My observation is the vast majority of couples I see can actually communicate just fine. In other words, people understand them, they know how to say what they are thinking, and can get their idea across, except with their spouse. The problem is with perception. Couples misperceive each other. They assume the other is being mean, or is trying to hurt them, or is ignoring their needs. That is the real problem. Correct that, and the marriage has a chance. Help a couple communicate better, and they are just better at fighting. So to make a long story short, I stopped doing marriage counseling the way I was taught and started experimenting. I started finding out what works and what doesn't. In the process, I began to develop a fairly radical but deceptively simple approach to saving marriages, and it worked over and over again. Which left me wondering, why do others keep serving up the same old useless information? If you look around, you will see lots of information designed to help you save your marriage. Much of it is well-intentioned. Just useless. First, there are those that teach, quote, reverse psychology or other tricks to help you stop a divorce. But come on, do you really think your spouse is a 4-year-old? Reverse psychology may work on a child, but not on an adult, at least not for long. Then there are those who will try and teach you communication skills. I think I already demonstrated the dead end of that. Then you get into the spells, subliminal messaging, and other weird methods that don't work. Also, there are two types of people out there, people who have no professional training and those with dated professional training. One is like asking a friend to operate on you. The other is asking an ill-trained doctor to take your life in his hands. Neither strike me as good options. So let's talk a bit about an alternative, something that works and something you can do. First, let me say this very clearly. If your marriage is in trouble, it is not your fault. I say that even if you've already have been unfaithful or have made many mistakes. And I really mean that. It is not your fault. You got married, but nobody trained you, right? The only training you got was on the job, while simultaneously doing harm to the same relationship nobody told you how to build. That is a setup, and it isn't even your fault. Why do I say this? Because nobody told you the biggest secret about marriage, and it is a simple one. But if you miss this one, you will never have a successful marriage. Get it, and your marriage will be magical.